Watching this latest My Hero Academia episode, it really shed some light, I find, on this twisted character, Shigaraki, and I really got a sense of this could have easily been any hero that we see in the show. I mean, not only does the character design and the family dynamic give me a similar feeling to Deku if shit went wrong for him and he actually developed a quirk that could do very negative things. Rather, Deku was he got to inherit All Might's ability and was encouraged by his mother. And while the father wasn't in the picture, I mean, there was clearly a good path forward. But we've seen time and time again what bad parents and what bad guidance and what bad life situations can generally shape people into who they are. And to see a household that was definitely abusive, not in the traditional sense, more of if you talk good about heroes, that's when shit gets wrong, but seemingly up until the end of the episode, like hitting was the one thing that I guess probably not okay, given that they were actually standing up. It was more of the emotional and like dragging you by your collar, not actually hitting you across the face up until the ending, but still, it doesn't change the fact that it was abusive, that because the father felt betrayed by the mother, that, she wanted to play hero, up and got herself killed, abandoned the family, it's just, that's not in our household. We're gonna have a normal family, no hero bullshit, because being a hero means to abandon your family. Like, you see where the mindset is, even though it's completely skewed and incorrect, but still, the fact that while watching that childhood sequence, all I got a sense was imagining any character that we currently root for. Had they had the wrong guidance, the wrong this or that, it would have failed them. And the cracks in the hero society are definitely starting to show more and more, and the strength of Shigaraki is something to be fearful of, because his awakening in that fight with Redestro was insane, and thinking about, once again, the characters that we root for and want to see succeed because, they're the heroes, they're gonna be in for a rude awakening. I mean, the big man's there as well. I mean, there's no way this man's getting out of that alive. Like, we definitely can tell Shigaraki will be the victor, but that victory will cost a lot of heartache and potentially death for the heroes, and that's pretty frightening. But watching, probably I would argue, one of my favorite moments that this anime has ever shown us. I knew as soon as I saw that dog, he was going to be the reason that dog isn't going to be alive anymore. I just felt like, naturally, we know his ability. The ability clearly isn't there yet. We're focusing when he doesn't know he has one or hasn't awakened yet. That puppy's gonna die. However, I wasn't expecting the whole family to go out, and I probably should have in hindsight, because a couple weeks back we saw, a child get handed the hands of all his different family members, but I thought maybe, they just got killed or something else. Maybe it would be like an accident. I wasn't really expecting it the way they directed it, nor did I expect puddles of blood and body parts. I thought it would just, they would do a stone crumbling. That makes sense. But when they would pull away and saw a child, visibly breaking down and there's just this mountain of corpse, hard to look at for sure. Honestly, given the fact that when you have a TV broadcast of anything, I mean, it's hard to get away with certain things when it comes to gore, but I was actually surprised by how gruesome they actually made this episode, given the fact that, even without reading the manga, I can tell it was probably more brutal than this, but they did a hell of a good job with the voice actor hitting it out of the park. Felt like a child breaking down in tears, feeling like they are a monster or fearful a monster is behind them. And the gore they did show with the effects, I thought was just so masterfully well done. And seriously, the idea of him itching and having allergies, right? Because he very much is suppressing his true desire to be a hero because of the father's desire. And the fact that throughout the episode it gets worse, and the more visibly concerned he is and haunted he is, the more he scratches and pries, and once he had that taste, that's when it was just all hell was loose. And the fact that he stopped itching after he admitted his true feelings, he wanted the father to die, hell of a powerful moment. I really think this is one of the all-star My Hero Academia moments to date. And I mean, each season has one or two that definitely sticks out and you're like, that is peak My Hero Academia. But this is right up there with some of the hero killer stuff for me and just really blew me away. Shigaraki, I think, has always been one of the most intriguing characters from a visual standpoint alone. And I'm glad that he had such a heartbreakingly twisted, insane past because it makes you understand how he got that way. Does it excuse current actions? No, but it explains how he got there, and he feels like a walking disaster. He is a hurricane, and I don't know how anyone would truly stop him, not only with his newfound memories, understanding, and no longer suppressing them, lets him really break out and just, with his awakening, anything he touches in that area can now be destroyed. Like, everything about him feels indestructible, and with a desire to simply destroy, what the hell are you supposed to do? It wasn't even just his content that was amazing. Like, I honestly thought we weren't going to get anything quite like that, mainly because we were focusing on Spinner, which was pretty cool. I mean, just literally getting more information on why people have a desire to follow Shigaraki, I thought was incredible, because like with Twice, with last week, which blew me away, I was like, damn, this is some real peak My Hero Academia. This episode was just carrying that momentum. Like, cool, more characters are actually getting explored so we understand why they almost follow like they're the protagonist in a normal hero story. And then they just hit us with this Shiggy content, and I'm like, hot damn, like, what did we do to deserve that type of quality backstory for a villain who in most superhero stories would get maybe a quick backstory, and in certain superhero stories, yeah, one villain gets a real good explanation on why they're like that, but nothing like this. This is definitely up there for some of the most memorable villain character development revelation that I think I've seen in quite some damn time. Like, I know this season has been a hit or a miss for certain people, but I've loved the My Villain Academia arc, and I really think if the purpose is to make you root for the villains and have you question about rooting for the villains and fleshing out the villain's backstory so that by the time we see them next, they're completely in a different light, as you have one of the most emotionally driven scenes yet, that being Shiggy's backstory, I definitely think the anime did its justice here, and it will be interesting because I think we have 2 episodes left to go this season, and clearly next week will be a battle. Now, I didn't watch the preview. I want to go into each episode of this anime arc as blind as possible, but like, the battle definitely is going to occur, but I generally wonder how this season will end, because all I know about the future is that, the story content will definitely change going forward, and given what we've experienced with the League of Villains and everything like that, it's no damn surprise, especially seeing the type of brutality they just showed in what is a backstory and the current version of this character who has a desire to destroy. The heroes are going to be slaughtered if I had to put money right now. Like, I don't know where we go from here. And that is the most exciting and terrifying opinion and feeling that I think this show has given me so far. I would love to know everyone's thoughts and feelings on this week's My Hero Academia episode. If you're new to the arc like myself, what got you about it? Because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be blown away by just how violent and chaotic it actually turned out to be. But let me know your feelings down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.